Good morning, class. Today we want to look at prime factors. The objectives for today's session: to understand what prime numbers are, to find the prime factors of an integer. So by the end of the lesson, you should be able to understand what prime numbers are. You should be able to find prime factors of an integer. Okay? First of all, what is a prime number? A prime number is a number with two factors, one and itself. What do I mean by one and itself? What do I mean? I mean, if we recall that factors are those numbers that will divide a number or an integer and doesn't leave any remainder. So, for example, if I have 2, if I get this 2 and I divide by 1, I'll get 2. Do I have any remainder? No. If I have this 2 and I divide with the 2, I'll get 1. Do I have any remainder? No. So it is a number that has two factors, one and itself, which is 2. Okay. Another example is 3. It has, all prime numbers have two factors, 1 and itself. Take another example of 3. It has 1 and 3. Okay? What are the examples of prime numbers? I'll give you some. The first prime number is 2. The second prime number is 3. The third is 5. Then 7. Then 11. It should have two factors, 1 and itself. Okay, again. Now, what is a prime factor? A prime factor is a factor that is also a prime number. So it has to be, first of all, a factor. Then again, it has to be a prime number. We have seen what prime numbers are. They have two factors. So in order for us to be able to do such numbers, we have two methods. We have one, the factor tree method, and the division method. So let us try and see each. How do we work out each? Let's try first of all with the factor tree method. So they're asking us, find the prime factors of 60. In this case, we aim at using prime numbers to split this number until we go to the last prime number. Let's see. I have 60. If I use the first prime number, which is 2, and I split 60 into the prime numbers, it is the same as having, 60 is the same as having 2 times 30. 2 times 30, I'll go back to 60. Okay? Again, I'll divide 30 using a prime number, 2. I'll use 2 again. 2 divided by 30, what do I get? I get 15. Okay? Now I realize that at this point I cannot use 2 because it is not divisible. Remember, it has to be a factor and a prime number. A factor is not leaving any remainder. So now I'll go to the next prime number, which is 3. 3 divided by 15, I'll get 5. I cannot go any further. If you want, you can say divide by 5, which will give you 1. But already now it's showing you that this is the next prime number. So what will happen? It means that if I want to get 60 is the same as writing it as 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. Remember, when we are doing powers, if I have 2 times 2, it is the same as having 2 squared. Then again, we have times 2 times 3 times 5. This is how I can write 60 in terms of prime factors. So if I do this, if I write 60 in terms of like this, it means I've written 60 into index form. Sometimes they might tell you write 60 in index form. This is what they are trying to tell you. Okay? So you get all these numbers here. These numbers. Put them here. If there are some numbers that are repeated, like the 2, make it a square, or whatever case it may be. Then add the numbers. This is what we call the index form. Let's look at the division method. The division method is the same. We are dividing using prime numbers. So I'll start with the first prime number, which is 2. Not always that you will start with the first prime number, but it's better to start with the first as you go down. So if I divide 60 divided by 2, I'll get 30. Again, I'll use 2. 30 divided by 2, I'll get 15. Now I realize that I cannot use 2 anymore. I'll use 3. 3 divided by this, 15, I'll get 5. I cannot use 3 now apart from 5. So I'll use the next one, which is 5. 5 divided by 5, I'll get 1. So if I want to write 60 again, I'll say 60 is the same as 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. Because I'll take all these numbers here, and put them here. Remember that if it is 2 times 2, it is the same as 2 power 2 times 3 times 5. This should give you 60. Okay, so once I do this, it is the same as writing this in index form. So this is still index form. Okay, thank you very much.